All right, so we're just gonna let your videos play here through once so you can see what's going on. And then your front view. All right, and then try to get those to sync up. A little delayed, but deliveries were kind of very different in the beginning. So if we take you back to the beginning and we look at where you come set, which is right here, and what your body has to do to get this leg off the ground, because your body has more weight right now on the front leg than the back leg. And like we talked about the other day, towards the end of our session, we got to make sure we have more weight on the back leg than the front leg. Otherwise, we're never going to be able to lift that front leg off the ground without our entire body having to shift and move. And we're not looking to have our body shift and move just to be able to get our leg off the ground. So we got to make sure that we get that weight back, and we're going to see that your body is going to drastically move before this leg can come off the ground because it's having to get the weight back already. So we can see right here that goes the hands back and the whole body is going back. Why? Because you have too much weight on that front leg to get that leg off the ground. So you got to shift weight back to here to have a chance to get this leg off the ground. Okay, so we need to start with that weight already back. Also, we have to understand that when you're in the stretch, it's because guys are on base. When guys are on base, they are just hawking you on the mound, trying to pick up any little thing that they can use as their advantage. And right now, you're giving them a huge advantage by them being able to see prior to you lifting this foot off the ground, which is most base runners are reading these heels. And once they see this front heel come off the ground, they know they can get into their secondary or start to take the base because you have to start your pitch. But the base runners don't have to watch your heels. They just have to watch your upper body. They have to watch your hands. Because as soon as they start to go back and they watch this elbow go up, they know they can start going. They can either get into their secondary super early or they can start taking the bag, which is going to give your catcher absolutely no chance to be able to throw him out for you. All right, so that's another reason why we got to come set with that weight back so we don't give the base runners all this time here to be able to start going before that heel even comes off the ground, when that's when they would normally be able to start going. Okay? Also, when you're shifting that weight back like you do here, that weight of your shoulders is still tilting forward and down. So that body is going to want to go forward and down, which means in order to not go forward and down, this is going to have to do a complete opposite and get this shoulder above this back shoulder. Right now, the back shoulder is above the front shoulder. So we're going to see right during this time here, we're not going anywhere. Why are we not going anywhere? Because if we did go somewhere, it'd be straight down. Your body doesn't want to do that. So it's trying to counter that. It's trying to rock that weight back. And boom, now we got the shoulders the other direction. But look how long it took to do that. So like we said, boom, right now, base runners are starting to go. They're running, 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 and you haven't gone anywhere towards the target yet. Okay, so we don't have any momentum, we don't have any energy created right now. We're going to have to create it all on our own. The downfall of that is right now, you're not strong enough, you're not explosive enough, you're not fast twitchy enough at your age to be able to create enough power on your own to be able to pitch multiple innings while keeping your arm healthy, safe, and strong. Because your arm's going to get tired out very quickly because you're having to create all of this power on your own, and most of that power is going to get created by your arm instead of using momentum and energy created with your body to supply power for the arm. Okay? So how we come set has everything to do with getting us to this position and how long it takes us to get to this position. So a better set position is going to allow us to get through the leg lift and start getting our body going to the target a lot quicker, which is going to allow the base runners less time to get good jumps on you. And it's going to allow you to have energy and momentum already flowing through your body to help power that arm so the arm doesn't have to work all on its own and go through extra stress that we don't want it to go through. All right. However, once we do get ourselves through that slowly developing leg lift and getting the hip out in front and starting to get the body to want to go forward, we do find ourselves in a very good, strong position here with keeping this knee back so that way it can drive us forward ultimately towards the end here. Okay? We can also see that this front foot is doing a good job of trying to stay closed, keeping the toe behind or even with the heel. As long as the toe stays behind or even with the heel, this front leg is going to stay closed. Once this front toe begins to get in front of the heel, that's going to then rotate the knee around, which is then going to start to open the front hip up. And we don't want any of that to happen until the last possible second. So with your back leg being in this good, strong position and your front leg being in this good, strong, closed off position, our lower half is doing a very good job. But the only downfall, like we said earlier, is that it has no momentum to really amplify, to really multiply, to really increase this lower half strong position. Okay? Then we're going to see as we go, then that front leg starts to open up. The front knee starts to rotate with it, which then starts to open up that front hip. Boom. Okay. The back knee begins to want to rotate, but we can see it's straightening out more than it's rotating. It's straightening out more than it's rotating in with that same bend. Okay, so why is your leg straightening out to drive and rotate you as opposed to rotating? There could be a couple different things, but what I think it is because of the fact that the weight wanted to be going forward and down. Then we had to get it back and strong, that then we had no momentum going forward. So how do we really get momentum going forward? Well, we got to straighten this leg out to push ourselves forward. You're doing a lot of pushing forward. But if we had momentum during this stage here, we had momentum going, instead of that little pause, we had more momentum going. That momentum would be taking our body forward. So we wouldn't have to worry about straightening the leg out to take our body forward. Our body would already be going forward because of that momentum we talked about, that energy. All right, so if we get some big league videos here that's really going to show that part the best, we can look at 2 or 3 guys in particular. Zack Greinke being one of them. And this was back in, I don't know when this was. This is still around the time when Greinke was upper 90s and winning Cy Youngs and Gold Gloves. Okay, so let's look. From the top of his leg lift, his front shoulder is not below the back shoulder. All right, they're relatively even right here. And then just like you did, the shoulders are going to flip. So this one is above this one, but he doesn't do that He's not doing that in place like you are. Okay, you're getting your front shoulder that's down to even. Now we're getting this strong upward angle. Granke's been even. And now look where his body's going. His body is going down that mound as this shoulder gets above this shoulder. He has momentum going down. He's got momentum to get him to this position here. To get him to this position here. Okay? Look at these back legs. Very similar. Okay? Throwing arm, very similar. Granke's glove arm is staying closed, which is going to help him stay stronger. Your glove is almost already pointing towards the target, which is going to allow your body to want to open up a little quicker than normal. Okay? See how it's staying out in front of you over here? Still out in front of you over here, but now it's getting kind of quicker over there. If we can just keep that bend in this elbow a little longer, it's going to keep that glove over here a little longer. But once that bend in the elbow starts to straighten out, it's going to take you out in front of you a little bit quicker. So we're just looking to keep that bend just a little bit more. A little bit longer. Keep this bend a little bit longer before it straightens out. Just a little bit longer. Okay, but that's not really too important. That's just something that can help you throw a little bit harder. Help you get a little bit maybe more movement on your fastball. Okay, let's go back to the lower half. Your back leg looks like his. Okay, Granke takes a different approach. Your leg likes to come down and away from your body while staying closed. Granke's likes to kind of keep some of this leg lift bend, but still, where's that toe? It's behind the heel. Where's your toe? Even with the heel. Granke's toe, even with the heel. Okay, so the lower halves are doing the same thing, but just in slightly different positions, but still trying to stay closed. Trying to stay closed. All right, so we saw this momentum that got him here. We saw yours didn't really have that much momentum. Kind of just going down. Okay. So that momentum allows him to have that body already away from the rubber. And now watch this back knee as it rotates. Doesn't straighten out, it rotates. But as it rotates, his body still gets to go forward because of that early momentum. Rotating it. Versus you pushing it. Pushing it to a straight leg. Granke has that same back knee bend that you do here, but because of his momentum, he doesn't have to straighten it out. He gets to rotate it. Because you didn't have as much momentum or hardly any momentum to get the body to really go forward aggressively. We have to straighten the leg out as we try to rotate it. We're very close. We're very, very close. I would say of all of your teammates, you're probably the closest to being where we want to be. Okay, so a lot of good things, but the closer you are to where we want to be, the adjustments that we have to make become more and more difficult. So any questions that you have, make sure you have them ready for me next week so we can get you squared away.